History is everywhere in Virginia. Welcome to WatchZilla. Today we are going to explore the birthplace of multiple presidents, Virginia, USA. 4 of the first 5 presidents were born in the state, giving it a head start on the record of 8, the most of any state. 2 of its top tourist attractions, Mount Vernon and Monticello, are homes of presidents. Virginia also claims the most Civil War battlefields of any state and the places where both the Revolution and the Civil War ended. The colonial capital of Williamsburg, now restored to its 18th century appearance, was among the hotbeds of the Revolution. But it's not just history that brings tourists here. Visiting the state's natural wonders, including Luray Caverns, Natural Bridge, the barrier islands of Chincoteague and Assateague, and Shenandoah National Park, are some of the top things to do. The mountains are prime destinations for hiking and other outdoor sports, and the long golden beaches are popular summer destinations. Number 10. Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center. Virginia Aquarium is a great example of an aquarium and one of the best in the United States. Come explore over 800,000 gallons of one of the best aquariums and love animal habitats in the country at the Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center. Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center is the best place to visit in Virginia to learn about local marine life and see some exotic creatures from around the world. The Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Center provides a wide range of exhibits and activities for the entire family and is one of the most popular family attractions in Virginia Beach. Virginia Aquarium is home to over 12,000 animals with approximately 700 different species. The freshwater and saltwater exhibitions showcase local marine life and themed exhibits to represent ecosystems from the Red Sea, coastal Sahara Desert, the Malaysian swamp, and more. Aquarium residents include several varieties of turtle, including loggerhead sea turtles and green sea turtles, water-dwelling reptiles Komodo dragons and Tomastoma, predators including sandbar sharks, and entertaining mammals including harbor seals and otters. Plus, you won't want to miss our 3D IMAX theater. Of course, with a screen 6 stories tall and 8 stories wide, it'd be impossible to miss. The center also has a variety of educational exhibits and activities for all ages, as well as a 6-story theater, which has regular showing of 3D nature films. For those who want a more interactive experience with nature, there are outdoor recreation options as well, including a 6-acre zipline adventure park for ages 5 and up. All ages can enjoy one of the center's various boat excursions, which spot wildlife including bottlenose dolphins, a variety of whales, and many types of seabirds. There are over 800,000 gallons of exhibits and habitats in the aquarium, and, for an extra fee, visitors are able to swim with seals or observe feeding of the rare and elusive sea turtle. The Marine Science Center provides interactive exhibitions for all ages, an aviary with lots of bird species, and a chance to see the behind-the-scenes feeding process for the animals. It's a life experience. Number 9. Manassas National Battlefield. Follow the footsteps of the battles that helped define one of the most divisive moments in American history. Manassas was a site of 2 very important battles in the American Civil War in 1861 and 1862. The First and Second Battle of Manassas in 1861 and 1862 respectively were both fought on this historic ground. The first battle took place on July 21, 1861, and the second from August 28 to 30, 1862. There was here that General Thomas J. Jackson earned his nickname Stonewall. The site is well preserved and well documented, and the history of the events that took place at the site are easy to understand. The second battle that took place here was an important victory for the Confederate forces, however the war continued for another 3 years after this battle. Ranger tours are available from landmark to landmark to explain and answer questions about a battle that shaped our history. Nearly 1 million visitors come to Manassas National Battlefield Park annually to participate in the 45-minute ranger-led tours of the fields overlooking Bull Run and to watch the informative 45-minute video that thoroughly explains the historical background. The entire park is open daily from sunup to sundown. However, there are a few important buildings and landmarks that follow slightly different schedules. The park has a small museum with interesting artifacts from the battles, a gift shop, and hiking trails. The site is also a great spot for bird watching and is a retreat for over 160 different species, both native and migratory. Visitors can stop by Stone House, the building used as a hospital in both battles, and Stone Bridge, over which the Union Army retreated after both battles, still stands in the park. All of this and more is available for the low cost of free. Number 8. Natural Bridge of Virginia. The natural bridge can be found in Rockbridge County, Virginia, and this is a fascinating natural sight to behold. Virginia's Natural Bridge is a geological formation, a natural arch carved out of limestone and dolomite over hundreds of thousands of years. Towering more than 215 feet high with a span of 90 feet, the Natural Bridge is one of America's oldest tourist attractions and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The bridge is both a Virginia Historical Landmark and a National Historic Landmark. During the 18th and 19th centuries, it was one of the two most popular sites for European visitors, ranking with Niagara Falls. The Natural Bridge was a great tourist attraction of the 18th and 19th centuries, and Herman Melville even compared the whale in Moby Dick to the size of the Natural Arch. It was formed by the collapse of a cavern through which the Cedar Creek flowed. In the years before European incursions into the area, the Monacan Indians viewed it as a sacred site. It was first seen by Europeans in 1742, and in 1750 George Washington, then a young surveyor, saw the Natural Bridge and purchased 157 acres of land in order to possess the arch himself. The legend that George Washington surveyed the bridge for Lord Fairfax gained credence when a rock with his initials and survey mark was discovered in 1927. Thomas Jefferson owned the land for some time, building a log cabin here as a retreat. In 2014, Natural Bridge became a state park. The bridge is now a state park, and a visit here should include a walk along the Cedar Creek Trail. Stroll along Cedar Creek Trail from Cascade Falls, under the bridge, and to Lace Falls, visiting an exhibit on the Monacans, the local Native American tribe, and a saltpeter mine used during the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812. U.S. Route 11 runs over the top of the bridge. Also, on offer are the Natural Bridge Caverns and the Natural Bridge Zoo. Nearby are Natural Bridge Caverns, where you can go 34 stories underground to see the colossal dome room, Mirror Lake, and the stalactites and stalagmites. Natural Bridge Zoo is known for its work in breeding rare and endangered species and for the chance for visitors to interact with some of the animals. Number 7. Chincoteague and Assateague Islands. Chincoteague and Assateague Islands are a pair of islands of the coast of Virginia. Chincoteague is an island town with several attractions. Assateague is a barrier island best for outdoor recreation. The island duo is popular visitor destination, with many people opting to explore both. Assateague is a 38-mile-long barrier island to the east of Chincoteague Island, which it protects from the Atlantic Ocean. The entire island of Assateague, which is partly in Maryland and partly in Virginia, is protected as a wildlife sanctuary. Assateague Island offers more of an island experience with beaches, kayaking, horseback riding, and backcountry areas for camping. The southern end of Chincoteague is protected by a national wildlife refuge with 14,000 acres of shoreline, fresh and saltwater marshes, wetlands, and forest habitat for more than 320 species of shorebirds and waterfowl. Chincoteague Island welcomes visitors with its scenic, serene coastal and its famous wild ponies. Explore the town of Chincoteague to find local restaurants, scenic beaches, golf courses, campgrounds, and other accommodations. But the two islands' most famous residents are the wild ponies. Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge is the main attraction. Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge is on the Virginia half of Assateague Island. The Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge is a shared experience between the islands for seeing some of the local wildlife. Visitors to this barrier island come mainly to see the Chincoteague ponies, feral horses of diminished size due to their poor diet of salt marsh plants and grasses. Here, you'll spot birds and waterfowl in addition to the island's horses. It's famous for the wild horses that roam freely on the island. The entire Virginia half of the island is a refuge for animals, some of them endangered, such as the Sika deer and the piping plover. Visitors may also see brown pelicans, merlins, red fox, fox squirrels, and white-tailed deer. Though these beautiful creatures might look tame, they are still wild animals, so avoid approaching, feeding or touching them. Partly because of these ponies and partly because Assateague Island is lined by one of the most beautiful beaches on the entire Atlantic coast, these islands get about 1.5 million visitors each year. The islands have excellent water conditions in the bay. Along with watching the wild ponies, you can swim, walk nature trails, take wildlife tours by boat or bus, watch birds, visit the famous lighthouse, kayak, go fishing, and collect seashells. Other popular Chincoteague activities include fishing, boating, and biking. There are areas on the island for ocean swimming, boating, horseback riding, and driving over sand vehicles. Snorkelers love to explore the shipwrecks that dot the island's shores and that were the reason for the installation of a lighthouse in 1833. The islands host an annual pony swim when you can watch the ponies swim between them. Boating is a fun way to explore the marine area, and fishing is also permitted. Fishing, crabbing, and clamming are permitted in designated areas with a valid Virginia fishing license. Number 6. Luray Caverns. Spend some time in nature during a trip to Luray. Virginia has many cave systems, but Luray Caverns is by far the most popular to visit. Luray Caverns is the largest commercial cave system in the eastern United States. The Luray Caverns are situated in Luray and were discovered in 1878. Discovered in 1878 by 4 local men, its size and features attract visitors from around the world and have led to its designation as a national natural landmark. The caverns are 164 feet below ground and stay at a temperature of 54 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. This natural wonder has consistently drawn visitors from far and wide since its discovery all those years ago. Visitors can walk through the caves and admire these limestone crystals, which have, over the centuries, formed an impressive landscape. It hosts an abundance of columns and other interesting cave formations. Visitors flock to this underground wonderland to view its stunning natural stone formations. Luray Caverns contain breathtaking examples of calcite formations within an extensive underground system that sometimes feels more like an alien landscape than a terrestrial natural landmark. There are amazing stalactites, stalagmites, draperies, mirror pools, and flowstones, but the central attraction is the great stalacpipe organ, a natural lithophone, which is a musical instrument created from stone. Among the highlights are Titania's Veil, the giant double column, interior lakes, which magnify the scene, and a one-of-a-kind musical instrument called the Great Stalacpipe Organ, which creates music using the stalactites themselves. Great Stalacpipe Organ is a unique feature that plays musical notes by tapping different stalactites. If you only have time to visit one cavern whilst in Virginia, make it this one. The so-called stalacpipe organ in the museum is billed as the world's largest musical instrument. When struck, it makes a sound similar to that of a xylophone. Other must-see features include Dream Lake and the Saracen's Tent. The Great Cavern is large enough that weddings have been performed in it. Over 500,000 visitors come to the cave attractions every year. It's a developed site with a lighting system and accessibility for all guests. The guided cavern tour is a trek of 1.5 miles, which takes 45 minutes to an hour. Sneakers are recommended for best grip on the stones, and the attraction is not accessible to those with limited mobility. In addition to the caves, visitors can also enjoy other attractions as part of the admission. The Luray Valley Museum explores the history of the Shenandoah Valley throughout a 7-acre 19th-century village, which is filled with both authentic and reproduction buildings and artifacts. The Car and Carriage Caravan Museum features historic vehicles, including an 1897 Mercedes-Benz, and Toy Town Junction is home to an antique train set and toy collection from the 1940s. Outdoor attractions, such as the Rope Adventure Park and the nearby Wisteria Farm and Vineyard, offer countless ways to have fun above ground as well. Number 5. Jamestown. Jamestown is the first permanent English settlement in the New World, preserved as part of the Jamestown National Historic Site. It's recognized for its cultural and historical significance. Colonial National Historic Park encompasses both Jamestown and Yorktown, where the Revolution ended. The entire Jamestown is included as part of the historic site, initially established in the early 1600s. Jamestown is the oldest British settlement on North American soil, established in 1607 by Captain John Smith. It's also an archaeological site to rediscover the history of America. Outdoor and historical attractions are the highlights of Jamestown. You will also find a replica of the original settlement and ship models. Only the foundations of the 1639 church tower, the churchyard, and the outlines of a few other buildings remain of the original settlement, but you'll find a recreation of a Powhatan village based on contemporary drawings and archaeological finds and replicas of the 3 ships that brought the settlers from England: Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery. Historic Jamestown is a popular attraction for visitors to get a glimpse into America's part. Green Springs Interpretive Trail features 3.5 miles of hiking and bike paths, while Jamestown Settlement offers a look at 17th-century Virginia and the events that paved the way for the first permanent English settlement in the Americas. Jamestown Settlement was built in 1957 to commemorate the 350th anniversary of Jamestown's founding. A museum and exhibition galleries focus on England's colonization in the New World, the history and culture of the Powhatans, and Jamestown's first 100 years. Some of the must-see sites at the attraction include the Jamestown Church, the Governor Harvey House, Tercentenary Monument, and the Pocahontas statue. The statue of Pocahontas by William Ordway Partridge was erected in 1922 in memory of her role in smoothing relations between the Native Americans and the settlers. The statue of John Smith by William Coor was erected in 1909. You can walk amongst the former site of the James Fort and Old Jamestown, with many of the original buildings preserved. Triangular James Fort is a recreation of the one constructed by the colonists, with thatch-roofed structures representing Jamestown's earliest buildings. The attraction hopes to maintain the heritage and educate visitors. Although none of the original buildings are still standing, the foundations are still in place, and you can see them on a half-mile walk through Newtown, part of Colonial National Historic Park. In addition to the sights, be sure to catch one of the colony reenactment performances. Travelers should also pop into the town's glass house to see glassblowing demonstrations and pick up a hand-blown glass souvenir. Number 4, Mount Vernon. The iconic Mount Vernon is where you'll find the plantation home of the first president of the United States, George Washington. George Washington lived in Mount Vernon for 45 years, during which he supervised its construction while simultaneously leading his army in the Revolution. Washington had a say in all aspects of the house's design, including the interior. The architectural design, construction, and even interior decor in each renovation and addition received his personal attention, resulting in the gracious 21-room plantation house you see today. Today, the estate attracts huge numbers of tourists and visitors who head here to explore the mansion and surroundings, as well as to learn more about its history and about the late great Washington. You will find plenty to explore when you visit Mount Vernon, including the iconic and stunning mansion, the beautiful landscaped gardens, and the tombs of the former president and his wife. At Mount Vernon, you can walk through the mansion, enjoy a stroll through the gardens, stop in the museum, learn about the enslaved people who lived there, and visit the family's tomb. Visitors can also step back in time with a visit to the museum, where you can learn more about Washington and explore a wide variety of Mount Vernon artifacts and exhibits. Tours through the house give a unique perspective of what Washington's family life was like, and there are still many heirlooms, such as portraits and crests, in the home. You may be surprised at the vivid paint and wallpaper colors throughout the house, but these shades were popular in the late 18th century. The bright green walls in the new room were Washington's favorite. The attraction also hosts events like Tea with Martha Washington and military reenactment. Washington also worked on the grounds of the house, which offer views of the Potomac River. He chose a less formal and more natural plan than his predecessors, reshaping the lawns and paths and planting native species of trees and shrubs. The outbuildings have been preserved or reconstructed, and you'll often see the many skills used on the plantation demonstrated: blacksmithing, plowing, sheep shearing, weaving, even grinding grain at the water-powered gristmill. Number 3, Shenandoah National Park. Shenandoah National Park was created in the 1920s and encompasses much of Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains, as well as the rolling hills of Virginia's Piedmont. In the center of Virginia, Shenandoah National Park protects portions of the Blue Ridge Mountains, which range in height between 2,000 and 4,000 feet. An excellent place to view fall foliage, hike and picnic, Shenandoah National Park stretches across nearly 200,000 acres of protected land in northern Virginia. Forming part of the famous Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, Shenandoah National Park provides some wonderful views and scenery, including views of the Shenandoah River, the valley, lush greenery, and areas of wilderness. The winding Shenandoah River and its valleys run through the park, as does the Skyline Drive, a 105-mile road that runs the length of the entire park. Along their crest and running the length of the park is the Skyline Drive, the northern continuation of the Blue Ridge Parkway, with stopping points to enjoy the views and attractions, including President Hoover's summer residence and the Old Cave Cemetery below Dark Hollow Falls. Skyline Drive is a popular way to see the park. It snakes through the hills and valleys, offering beautiful vantage points and photo opportunities along the way from dozens of different overlooks. Skyline Drive is meant to be driven slowly, and drivers stop regularly at one of the 75 lookout posts along the route that have stunning views of the park's scenery. This is a wonderful scenic drive that enables you to enjoy breathtaking surroundings. Around 40% of the land here has been designated as wilderness and is therefore protected. The beautiful hiking trails are some of the park's main attractions in the park. There are a number of hiking trails within the park to suit all levels of experience. Shenandoah National Park has 500 miles of hiking trails, including 101 miles of the Appalachian Trail, and camping, lodges, and restaurants can be found throughout the park. Cascading waterfalls and beauty spots are everywhere. Millions of people head here each year, particularly in the fall when the scenery is particularly beautiful. Flowering trees and shrubs are at their finest in spring and summer, but the park is best known for its autumn colors in October. Visitors can also take part in ranger programs, which cover everything from birds to meadows. The park has a multitude of wild cougars and over 200 species of birds, including wild turkeys, tufted titmice, Carolina chickadees, and barred owls. Only a short drive west from the Skyline Drive on US 211 are Luray caverns containing magnificent formations of stalactites and stalagmites. One of the cave's highlights is the world's only stalactite organ, where the stalactites resonate when struck with rubber mallets. Number 2, Williamsburg. If you want to experience the American Revolution period, then Williamsburg is the best place to do so. Williamsburg will always be associated with America's colonial history and is home to some of the best tourist attractions in Virginia. Williamsburg is an engaging historical and family-friendly destination. A unique and exciting living history museum, Colonial Williamsburg in Virginia is a place where the whole family can enjoy a combination of education, excitement, adventure and fun. Founded in 1632 as a fortified settlement between the James and the York Rivers, Williamsburg was the capital of the colony of Virginia from 1699 to 1780. Williamsburg was the capital of Virginia from 1705 and throughout the Revolution, and the final battle of the war was fought nearby, so it was a hotbed of the independence movement, along with being one of the most prosperous and politically active colonial capitals. The buildings here are either original and still standing from the 18th century or faithful reconstructions. Few places can recreate a setting for the period of the American Revolution as well as Williamsburg, where the original 18th century buildings are either still standing or have been faithfully reproduced on their original foundations. Colonial Williamsburg and historic Jamestown are hugely popular open-air museums stretching for several city blocks. Colonial Williamsburg transports travelers back in time to experience the 18th century's historic homes, peruse antique wares and soak up the culture. They feature restored buildings from the 17th, 18th and 19th century and are staffed by historical reenactors dressed in period costumes. Talented craftspeople and interpreters portraying historical figures help bring the town's history to life. Costumed interpreters help show what life was like for the gentry, the farmers, and the slaves that lived and worked here, and frequent reenactments add color and action that makes Williamsburg a fun place to visit for all ages. You can also visit spots frequented by U.S. heroes such as Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. Here, you can stand where Patrick Henry gave his stirring speech, walk the same streets as Thomas Jefferson, and savor a meal where George Washington enjoyed seafood dinners. The highlight of Colonial Williamsburg is the Governor's Palace, a stately structure that was the residence of two of Virginia colony's early governors. You can step back in time as you explore the revolutionary city, where you can also enjoy a guided or self-guided tour. In addition, you can visit two outstanding museums of folk and decorative arts and dozens of authentically recreated colonial gardens. If you love the arts, you will be thrilled with the art museums of Colonial Williamsburg, where you will be able to feast your eyes on some excellent displays and exhibits. This is a wonderful experience and a great place to visit and explore for all ages. Meanwhile, Williamsburg's two amusement parks, Busch Gardens and Water Country USA, attract families with kids looking for some outdoor fun. There is also a lot of excitement to be found in the Williamsburg area. Busch Gardens has thrill rides, notably rollercoasters, and lots of fun rides for smaller children, while Water Country USA has exciting slides, a wave pool, and a lazy river, and it is the perfect place for a day with the kids. You will find plenty of shopping facilities, as well as restaurants here too, as well as relaxing spas and plenty of entertainment. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 1, Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is the biggest city in the U.S. state of Virginia. With multiple districts and beaches, Virginia Beach is sure to offer something for everyone. There is a wealth of things to do in Virginia Beach, and first and foremost is the beach itself. Virginia Beach is the name given to a popular resort town east of Norfolk. Named for the wide expanse of golden sand and stretches from just east of Norfolk, Virginia Beach is a very popular and often crowded resort town, with the expected hotels, amusements, and a long boardwalk. The place attracts millions of tourists every year and is a favorite vacation spot. The city offers a host of attractions to the visitors. 3 different beaches and 14 miles of sandy shores give every visitor the beach vacation they desire, whether it's in the heart of the action or in a secluded cove. As you would expect, here you can find amusements and hotels along the promenade. The 3-mile Virginia Beach Boardwalk is the place to be for walking, inline skating, and cycling. Along the way there are excellent outdoor restaurants, nautical statues, shopping, and 4 oceanfront stages featuring live entertainment. There are historic places, zoos and aquariums, and restaurants offering delicious haute cuisine, not to mention the sprawling beach on the South Atlantic, and endless opportunities to indulge in all kinds of delightful and fun water activities. The place also boasts of a thriving nightlife, and there are special Virginia Beach events, which range from water sports and marathons and surfing competitions to live music and special evening concerts. The resort is very popular and can become crowded in the summer months. Skate down the boardwalk or soak up some rays in the oceanfront neighborhood, hike or kayak in the Sandbridge area, or enjoy some retail therapy before grabbing a bite to eat in the town center district. Virginia Beach offers amusement rides, golfing, sea kayaking, boat tours, and nightlife, and it's perfect for families, couples, and solo travelers. There are also a number of museums and a water park here for if the sea is too cold to swim in. If the Atlantic Ocean is not warm enough for the children, take them to the 19-acre Ocean Breeze Water Park with Caribbean-themed water slides, a wave pool, and water playground. The Virginia Aquarium and Marine Science Museum explores the climate, sea floor, and fauna of the coast with an 800,000-gallon aquarium, hands-on exhibits, and a touch tank. Outdoors is an aviary, nature trail, marshlands to explore, and an adventure park. First Landing State Park commemorates the first English settlers who came ashore in 1609. More than 9,000 acres of coastline has been protected in the Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge, where you'll find walking and hiking trails and picnic facilities at the visitor center. Back Bay National Wildlife Preserve connects visitors with nature and offers the chance to see wild horses, feral pigs, loggerhead turtles, and bald eagles in their natural habitat. This is a favorite spot for birders as more than 10,000 birds visit annually, including snow geese, falcons, ducks, and piping plovers. The Atlantic Wildfowl Heritage Museum displays historical and contemporary waterfowl decoys. To visit the 1791 Old Cape Henry Lighthouse, which opened up the Chesapeake Bay area to safe navigation, and the nearby new lighthouse built in 1881, you will need to pass through security at the Fort Story military base. Between Virginia Beach and Norfolk is the entrance to the 20-mile-long engineering marvel Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, which spans the entrance to Chesapeake Bay, connecting the mainland to Virginia's eastern shore. This coastal city provides plenty of options for both relaxation and entertainment, making it perfect for your next vacation. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchZilla and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.